Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review. And today from Hasbro, we have the Marvel Mech Strike Monster Hunters Loki. Alright, so I bought this figure today at my local Walmart. It was clearanced for $7. The figure was usually $16.48. This was actually an action figure I wanted when it first came out, but I couldn't bring myself to pull the trigger on it because I felt $16.48 was way too much for a toy like this. In a perfect world, I think I would have priced this figure maybe at like $12, but there was no way I was going to pay, 17 bucks for it. All right, so we have the Marvel Mech Strike Monster Hunters Loki. All right, so I think it was maybe a year or maybe 2 years ago that they first introduced Marvel Mech Strike. It's a fun budget toy line. If you go through my back catalog of videos, it was an action figure line I was very fond of. The price point was perfect. The basic figures were I think $9 or $10. They made Cap. They made the Hulk. They had mech suits, Black Panther. It was really cool. I dug that line a lot. Actually, just give me a second. Here's actually the first series of Mech Strike figures in the mech suits. There were a couple of them. We have Cap, we have Iron Man, all wonderful figures. And then there was a couple of supersized ones also, like this gigantic Mech Strike Hulk, which is amazing. And these are cool too because they're essentially like armors. You get to open them up, and then the figure pilots the inside of it. It's like an exosuit. And then this was, I felt, the crown jewel in the Mech Strike line in the first series was the Thanos. This was such an amazing figure. It was awesome. And again, just like the other ones, it opens up, and then there's a Thanos figure to pilot it. So I was really, really fond of the Mech Strike line. So then when they did Series 2, they kind of changed up the theme. It kind of went away from the mech, like the mech armor anime stuff, and it kind of evolved into the Monster Hunters. And then here's the Monster Hunters Mech Strike Iron Man. Pretty cool figure. There's like a gimmick involved. You flip a switch in the back, and then it reveals like missile pods and then this crazy eye. So this Loki belongs to this assortment of figures, the Monster Hunters. Alright, so let's get started. Very colorful package design. A lot of green, a lot of purples. On the back, they kind of go over the play features. There's a lever on the back, and when you pull it, it animates the wings. And then this is what Loki looks like from the comic book. So there actually was a limited series for both the first Mech Strike and also Monster Hunters. I think I only read the first issue of the first series, and I didn't really go beyond that. Not that it was bad or anything. I was more interested in the toys than the story. Alright, I'm having some problems. Let me grab some scissors. Alright, so we have Mech Strike Monster Hunters Loki. Really interesting color scheme. It kind of, let me balance this out. It's a little too bright. Will this help? Alright, there you go. No, it's still too bright. Alright, I'm not going to be able to pull up the figure as close as I'd like because the minute I do, it kind of blows out all the details, kinda. So I have to kind of review this a little bit more at a distance. Let's get into focus. Alright, there we go. That's alright. Alright, so this figure is pretty tall. I'm guessing maybe 8 inches. About 7.5. So it's still a pretty sizable figure. A very unique take on Loki, you know, kind of incorporates that Monster Hunters theme. It still retains some of the, you know, visual iconography of Loki, especially with the yellow horns on the forehead. It kind of has that kind of jester collar around his neck, and that still retains that kind of yellow. Has the green, you know, to retain the green costume color scheme. But as you can see, it's a very monsterfied version of Loki. He's kind of like part, I don't know, wasp, part mantis. It almost kind of resembles in some ways, almost like a weird Power Rangers villain. He has red eyes, kind of a slight smirk on his face. He kind of has a blue flesh tone. I mean, that might be indicative of him being a frost giant. The sculpting, it's alright. It's these large appendages, you know, they almost look like praying mantis arms. They kind of have like the texture of like, I don't know, like a king crab. The sculpting on his chest and arms is kind of a little bit too soft for my taste. It's not that crisp. But the sculpting around his abdomen, upper thighs is a little bit sharper. And then here's the back. You see the wings. And then there's the lever for the wing gimmick, which we'll go over in a little bit. It looks like there's a plug over. This might be a screw cap. Maybe there's a screw that goes there. The articulation, it appears to be very limited for the most part. Let's get him back into focus. His head rotates a little, not too much, surprisingly. His arms move, and that's the extent of his arms. There's no elbow articulation, no butterfly joint, no wrist. Does not swivel at the waist. His legs simply kick up. Do they go out? They do go out, surprisingly. There's this one. Yeah, so his legs do go out. There is no knee bend, no ankle articulation. And in terms of the play gimmick, there's that lever on the back right here. And you press this, and then it animates the wings. And then much like some of the other Monster Hunters figures, there's kind of like that eye in the middle of his chest. So, I mean, this is a pretty fun toy. You know, heavy emphasis on toy. If you're a hardcore, you know, Marvel fan or Marvel Legends collector, this is something you'll probably easily pass on. If you have younger ones who are into like Marvel and they love playing with their toys, I think this would be a great thing to have. Just make sure you don't pay too much for it. Like I said, I bought this on clearance at my local Walmart for $7. I think the standard price of, you know, $17 is a little bit too much, but for $7, it's a cool, fun action figure. I love this play feature, and the figure is pretty, you know, it's pretty big. For example, here's our good friend, the McFarlane designed Batman. As you can see, it's pretty sizable. So I think it's a good deal at $7. At $17, no, I think that's a little bit too much. All right, so let's wrap this one up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're a returning viewer subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it. So until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next one. All right, later.